So we'll take one more tie breaking problem. 6x1 plus 8x2 and subject to the constraints should be less than equal to 16. And second constraint is 2x1 plus 4x2 should be less than equal to 8. And x1, x2 should be greater than equal to 2. Sorry, should be greater than equal to 0, non-negativity function. So this is the question which is asked, use simplex method and find out the solution. Okay, so as usual, we'll go for the first, that is maximize z. 6x1 plus 8x2. We'll come back to objective function later. First, we'll just see our first constraint. So subject to the constraint, our first constraint will be 2x1 plus 8x2. We have to add slack variable, so x3 equal to 16. And next is 2x1 plus 4x2. We have to add another slack variable, so x4 is equal to 8, right? And now here we'll write our objective function 0x3 plus 0x4, right? And then non-negative constraints x1, x2, x3, x4 all should be greater than 0. So as usual, we need to convert. We have to remove the inequalities to the equalities, and then we need to start. So now we have four variables: x1, x2, x3, and x4. Okay, the object coefficients in the objective function is 6, 8, 0, 0. Right? So our slack variables are x3 in the first equation, x4 in the second equation, and the coefficients of this is 0. This is also 0, right? And now the initial matrix, so we'll be writing the coefficient here 2, the coefficient here is 8, the coefficient here is 1, here 0, RHS is 16. In the second equation, coefficient here is, then we need to calculate Zj, and then we need to calculate Cj minus Zj. Okay, so this will be 0, 0, 0, 0, and this also will be 0 because these coefficients are 0. So when we'll do a dot product, 0 into this plus 0 into this, all that it will get zeros. And 6 minus 0, 6, 8 minus 0 is 8, 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 0, 0. So our initial iteration got over. Now we'll go for the second iteration. So to go for the second iteration, we have to find out maximum Cj minus Zj. So maximum among this is, we don't have to consider zeros, only positive maximum value. So that means x2 is entering in the next iteration. So which one is leaving? So to find out which one is leaving, RH is divided by the corresponding elements of entering variable. So 16 divided by 8, 2, 8 divided by 4, 2. So it's a tie breaking, right? So we cannot decide which one will be leaving. So right, so when such tie breaking will come, what we have to do? We have to go for little further steps. So how will, when tie breaking, how will find out? I'm just once again I'm writing the formula if yesterday you people forgot to write. So in this case now we'll go for the next value. So see, corresponding element of first variable in the unit matrix, which is your in your unit matrix, this x3 and x4. I mean these are your variables in the unit matrix, x3 and x4. So in this, which one is the first appearing? First is appearing x3, then x4 is appearing. So we have to go for x3. So what we have to take? We have to take the corresponding elements of this x3 divided by the corresponding elements of entering variable. Our entering variable is x2. So we have to take this x2. So 1 divided by 8. So what we'll get? We'll just write down here x3 divided by x2. x3 divided by x2, right? So 1 divided by 8, so write it as 1 by 8 only, and 0 divided by 4, so 0 divided by 4 is 0. So which is in theta we can consider 0. So this is small, right? So let it make it, so this is small means what? x4 is leaving. So as x4 is leaving, we have to show that x4 is leaving, and this is nothing but pivot row. So this is your pivot row, right? Same way, you have to find out which is pivot element. This is your pivot element because it is intersecting the entering element and leaving element, right? Leaving variable. So this is your pivot element. So PE, fine. Now going to the next iteration, right? So which one is leaving? X4 is leaving. So instead of X4, what we need to write down? X2 we need to write down. So X3 will write first, and instead of X4, we'll write down X2, right? So now quickly finding the values of this. First we'll do it for X2. So coefficient of this is 0. Coefficient of x2 is 8. So first we'll do it for x2 because it is entered newly. And how we'll find out for that? Pivot row divided by pivot element. So 2 by 4, that is nothing but 1 by 2. 4 by 4, 1. 0 by 4, 0. 1 by 4. And 8 by 4. Right? So we got this. Now we'll go it for the this. How we need to do for the x3? We need to do it for the x3. We have to take the old x3 values and newly entered x2 values, right? So where we should have 1 and where we should have 0 for our identity matrix, x3, x3, we should have 1 over here. x2, x3, we should have 0 over here, right? We should get this identity matrix, so we should get this value. So concentrate on this 0. Take this value 1 and take old x3. So in old x3 it is 8. So here 8, here 1. We want 0 over here. So if you multiply this 1 by 8 and we subtract that 8 from this 8, so we'll get it 0. That, right? So it is simple to get the new x3. To get new x3, we need old x3. We need old x3 and we need newly entered variable, that is x2, and we have to multiply this x2 by 8 and then we have to subtract from the x3, old x3, right? This is what the formula we need to follow for finding this. So we'll get the value. So here we'll get, here also we can check, multiply this 0 by 8, so it will be 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Okay, we are getting. So let us do this, use the same formula for this. 8 into half, so it is 4. 2 minus 4, so it is minus 2. Right? Then going for this, 8 into 1 by 4. So 8 into 1 by 4, so it will be 2. And then 0 minus 2, so it will be minus 2. Same thing we'll do here also, RHS also. So 8 into 2, 16. 16 minus 16 will get it here, 0. So we are getting RHS is equal to 0. Fine. So we got x3 now, right? So now quickly we have to go for zj. And then we need to go for cj minus zj. Right? So now moving over there. Zj, 0, this multiply by, this is 0, 0 multiply this 0. So we'll just concentrate on this only. 8 into half. So 4, 8 into 1, 8. This will be 0. This will be 2. And this will be 16. Right? So if you calculate now this 6 minus 4, right? Cj minus zj. Cj is nothing but these values. So 6 minus 4, 2, 8 minus 8, 0, 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 2, minus 2. So we got Cj minus Zj. See, every time when you will calculate Cj minus Zj, you will get 0 for the variables, basis variables, unit matrix variables. That means what? See, in the first iteration, we were having x3 and x4. So value of Cj minus Zj for x3 and x4 will be 0, 0. In the second iteration, we got x3 and x2 in the unit matrix or the basis variable, x3 and x2. So Cj minus Zj will be 0 for x3 and x2. See, for x3, 0. For x2, 0. Right? So if you're getting 0 means you are going correct. Among this Cj minus Zj, which is the positive value? 2, 0, 0, minus 2. So minus forget, 0 forget, only positive value is 2 and that is only the maximum. So in the next iteration, x1 will be entering. So now as x1 will be entering, we need to find out which one will be leaving. So here we'll calculate the theta. How will calculate the theta? RHS divided by the corresponding element of entering variable. So 0 divided by minus 2. So 0 divided by anything is 0. So write it as 0. 2 divided by half. So it will be 4. So this is 4. Now among this 0 and 4, which is minimum? 0 is minimum. In theta, you can consider 0. But in Cj minus Zj, you don't have to bother the 0. You don't have to consider 0. But in theta, you have to consider. So 0 is minimum. So this variable will be leaving. Which one is leaving? x3 is leaving. So in the next iteration, there is no tie breaking, right? So in the next iteration, instead of x3, we have to write x1 because x1 is entering. So write down x1. Okay, so which is newly entered? X1 is newly entered. So first we'll do for X1. So what is pivot element over here? This is leaving, this is entering. So pivot element is minus 2. So this is your pivot element. So X1, how will calculate the row values of X1? Pivot row divided by pivot element. So minus 2 divided by minus 2, 1. 0 divided by minus 2, 0. 1 divided by minus 2, minus 1 by 2. Minus 2 divided by minus 2, 1. 0 divided by minus 2, 0. Then we'll go for x2. Now for finding the x2, we have to see that here we should x2 we should get 1 over here. x1 x2 we should get 0 over here. Right? So that should be. And to find out the remaining values, we need to take this x1 and old x2. So this x2 values and this x1 values. Right? Now concentrate on this 0 because we want 0 over here. And how we'll get this 0? So we have this 1, we have this half. Right? That means what? If you multiply this half by, if you multiply this 1 by half and then you subtract from this half, you will get 0. So if you are subtracting from this 1 minus this 0, it will be 0. So it is getting clear. Now do the same thing. Multiply this half by half and then subtract it from this 0. So if you do this, you will get it plus 1 by 4, right? Same thing you have to do over here also. So multiply this 1 by half, so it will be 1 by 2 and subtract it from 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2. It will be minus 1 by 4. Same thing you do it for here also. Multiply this 0 by half and subtract it from 2. So it will be 2 only. Right? So we got all the values. Let us quickly go for Zj and let us go for Cj minus Zj. This is the final iteration. We have to say what is the x1 value in RHS? 0. What is the x2 value in RHS? 2. So you should mention x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 2. And you got RHS values here 0 first, then you got 16 and then again you got 16. When you are getting repeatedly 16 means in the third iteration also you will get 16. It will not increase anything. Okay, so z is equal to 16. Z is equal to 16. So this will be your answer and you should highlight it that this is the answer.